So I got a 2004 Toyota Corolla. Got 1.8 in here. I got a P0016 code. Though that was original. It had a bad timing chain rattle. It's. I've been working on that car for years, and it's been needing a lot of service, and we're finally getting to it. And this, I don't know if I said it already, but I tore this down once before. And I just had to tear it down just to inspect my work, because I'm like, what the hell happened? Because the code came up. The car ran worse with the new timing chain components on it. So I got the VVT gear, that's new. New timing chain, guides, all that stuff is new. And one thing I didn't replace, and I'm glad I took it down and inspected, and I'm glad AutoZone actually had it in stock. O'Reilly's just screwing up, man. Y'all, our inventory sucks. So the timing gear, the crank gear, there's the new one. Here's the old one. Look at this old one. It's missing teeth here. But let me show you the size difference. See if I can turn this light off. Look at the size difference on this thing. Look at that. Uh-oh. Oh gosh, that's defective. So the issue is, I don't think this is going to create that much play. I know my timing marks were dead on. I've checked this timing several times. Here's the old chain here. Let me show you that they do stretch. So I got the timing chains linked up here. The old one is definitely longer. The old one is definitely longer than the new one by like 1/4 of an inch. So again, the engine ran way worse, like it had, like the timing was advanced, with a new oil control valve, VVT sprocket, timing, all the stuff was brand new. But I'm going to change this gear, and if we have any further issues, I'm going to show you what we're going to do to diagnose that. And my biggest thing is I'm going to tackle that oil control valve. I can't begin to tell you the sludge. Let me show you that sludge real quick. I've never had this happen before when extracting oil control valve, but the oil control valve broke in half. But this is some of the sludge. It looks like charcoal. Let's see if the camera will focus. Looks like charcoal. This is some of it that I just took out the valve cover. And so you can imagine how much was sitting in this engine here. Alright, slowly making progress here. I got the timing chain on, took no problem. All my time marks are lined up. There's an indentation here. There's a line there. There's a mark on the inside of, I got white out on it so I can know where the marks were clearly. And then there's a mark on the other side here that needs to be facing the intake. I know my time marks are done. I know for a fact they are. The trigger wheel is on. The F is facing the front. So I should be fine timing wise. Maybe I had the one tooth off. I'm hoping that's what it is, and I put this thing back together and it runs perfectly fine. I'm hoping, because it loped like a cam was in there at idle, but it ran fine up top. So I could have had one of the cams overly advanced. But the front one here is what monitored. This is what a cam sensor is right there. This doesn't have a cam sensor. So I mean, unless this couldn't have been off, I don't think that will have an effect on overall advancement. It'll just run improper because there's no monitor on that cam here to ensure that it's in proper time. Just this one and the crank position sensor. So we'll get it back running and we'll see what happens. Assembled. It's gonna be the first startup since it's been assembled. I got the, just to go back over everything, the harmonic balancer, everything's hooked up, the power steering, breathers, coils, not all of them, that one. Timing is dead on. We checked that. I know for a fact it's dead on, so hopefully it'll run fine. The tensioner, we got that in there, so I think we're good. Let's see what happens. All right, left the key on, the battery's dead. Charged up, so wish me luck. See what happens. What? Okay, there you go. Did I get excited too soon? Let's see if it'll clear up. Let me disconnect the BVT actuator and see if it clears up. If it does, then it's got to be something pertaining to actuating system. I got that disconnected. It didn't help any. It didn't do anything. I'm doing an oil changes as a part of the repair anyway, and I don't think it's going to help, but I'm going to put fresh oil in there. It really needs it. You saw how bad it was as far as the engine sludge buildup, and so you can imagine how the bottom end probably looks. One of the biggest things I'm probably worried about is the crank sensor, the signal. I've checked the cam position signal, and that was fine, the waveform. There's a movement, but as far as like it being in sync with the bottom end is a different story. Car can run without a cam sensor, but it still should run perfectly fine. I'm going to pull the codes and see what I currently got, and just pretty much go from there. Cause still run the same with an oil change, but not really better. It didn't install. Let's pull any codes, see what we got. We're gonna go right into diagnostic control unit. Let's see here. I disconnected the oil control valve, so I might have to. I might need to clear that code and then like let it start up and go through its testing phase again. But it does run better with the oil change. A lot better. I've never had this happen before where you would change the timing chain, it runs worse than what it did before, even though everything's proper. So we got a P100. I think that was me. Oh wow, what the hell? It's running. Oh wow, the car's running normal. It is running completely normal. Wow. I mean, this is definitely a head scratcher. Okay, so we got this, that's pending. Let me shut the car down and cut it back on, see if that code is still going to be pending or active. That is crazy. I have never had that happen. I was thinking maybe the VVT gear was stuck. I mean, I was definitely thinking oil passages or something. Let's see if it's still present. But I didn't expect it to pull that number. Oh shit, I did not mean to do that. Clear code. Let's see if there's anything in here. Sometimes like a code will still be present in the bidirectional feature over the generic feature. Sometimes I gotta go to the generic feature and see if the car is satisfied. If so, I just usually leave it alone. But the code is not active. Let's see what happens. It is running like completely normal right now. Completely normal. That is nope. Seriously. Seriously. Look at this. Seriously. Alright, so what now I will say, I mean once I pulled it down a second time, I did take the cap, the main cap in the front that junctions the front, the exhaust in the intake cam. I took that off, inspected the passages. I took the oil control valve back out, inspected the passages. But logically, I'd imagine maybe, just maybe, I mean, it was a sludge buildup. Maybe because I was picking at it, sludge fell down in the engine, and I guess. Wow. Let's see if the coats have come back or anything. Because I was definitely going to go like really in depth and check this damn thing. But obviously, yeah. Wow. I don't even know what to say about this. Because I've never had this happen. I probably tore it down for no damn reason initially. But at least I found that gear, which I threw somewhere. Luckily, I found that crank gear was defective and got that replaced. I guess that's the world, the universe telling me, hey, go back and check your work. So I'm gonna let the coolant do its thing and let it run its course. Take it on test drive. I mean, I was definitely started recording because I'm like, okay, this is gonna get interesting here. What's going on? But as far as the code setting criteria, the car goes through its testing phase initially. It activates the oil control valve at idle. So it's activated at idle, and then it deactivates once you drive and send the pulse width modulated signal to advance or adjust the timing. From what I understand, and that's why I went and disconnected the oil control valve. So unless there was probably some obstructions in the camshaft that caused some sludge or whatever, once I removed that oil control valve to replace it, maybe some sludge dropped down and got circulated in the oil control valve and got it locked in place. That's just the conjecture. I'd imagine that's probably, but it's brand new. So maybe because it's brand new, it needed to be activated. Maybe. Maybe you need to have some oil circulate through it. I don't know, but that logically doesn't make any sense. So I'm kind of stumped at this video, but maybe you could take some substance from this. So once you heard the vehicle once I started up. I mean, I did change the oil, needed the oil change, and it just idled itself out. It cleared itself up. It was strange. That's why I started recording, because the engine ran fine when it came in and started running worse. I knew I've done several of these motors before, how to put this damn thing together. And that's why I wound up checking the trigger wheel. The trigger wheel was facing the proper direction. Maybe I thought the glue for the sealant got on the trigger wheel and impeded the signal, but that logically didn't make any sense either way. But everything's clean, everything's back together, and it still ran the same. It cleared itself up. So I guess the takeaway, change your oil. Change your oil. Anyway, hit that link, subscribe to the channel, stay informed, have the richness of my work. See you next one.